Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Hickeys and Counting. In today's video, we're just going to be chilling around the house, making some cinnamon rolls with my children to give out to some family members. So come along with us today. It's that time of year where spring is almost over and summer is upon us. I know here in North Florida, it feels like summer even in the spring. Hey friends, so today I'm going to be making some cinnamon rolls. So let's get started. And here is my cinnamon roll recipe if you want to screenshot it, or I will just link it down below in the description box. So the base is very simple. It's just going to be flour, sugar, water, and yeast. So to start with your whisk attachment, you're going to mix 2 cups of all-purpose flour, let's see, 1/3 cup of sugar, and then 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and a teaspoon of salt. And you just mix all that together, and then you will melt your butter and your milk together and put that in and mix it up, and it's going to be kind of like a batter consistency. Now, I've used this recipe probably 5 times. I don't make cinnamon rolls very often. I usually do it at the end of the year in the cooler months, but I really was wanting some cinnamon rolls, so I decided to make this. This is a good recipe. I also had Christmas music playing on in the background. You can't hear it, but I don't know what it is, like something about Christmas time, just the warmth of Christmas. Not the warmth of Christmas, the warmth of cinnamon rolls, like the smell. It reminds me of Christmas. That's my favorite time of year, and I love just getting my home in that atmosphere, if that makes any sense. And I don't know what it is, like whenever spring is over, I kind of get a little bit sad because my least favorite time of year is summer. I'm just not a big person that likes the heat. And my kids love to play outside, and it's just so hot in Florida that they can only stay outside for a little bit at a time. And it's a little frustrating, you know, when you have a lot of kids that want to be outside, but they can't because it's so hot. So it is what it is, but we always really enjoy the times of the year that my kids can play outside and have a great time. So I wanted to make cinnamon rolls to remind me that winter will be coming after summer. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm just showing you here. It's really weird. It looks kind of going to look like batter, like cake batter. And then you're going to change your whisk hook. And then you're going to use your dough hook, because now it's going to start coming together as a dough after this step here. So it looks weird, but it really does taste good. And these work for me every single time. So that's what I'm going to share with you. And I'm just going to go ahead and say from experience, every time you add flour or powdered sugar, whatever your like powdery stuff to your mixer, always start it on the lowest setting. Because once I've turned it to 2 or 3, and then half of my flour is flying out of the side of the bowl and ending up all over the place. So always start out on low and get it really good and mixed in there before you start turning the volume or the speed up. And like with every dough that you make, you can knead it in your stand mixer, or you can knead it by hand. And since I was just taking my time spending the day inside with the kids, because again, it was too hot to be outside, so we weren't inside most of the day. So we just all took turns kneading the dough, and it came out beautifully, and they really enjoy doing it. They think it's like Play-Doh, and it smells so good. The dough alone just smells so good. Every single one of my kids wanted to knead the dough like forever. I'm like, you can't knead it that long, you'll overwork the dough. But anyways, it was really sweet to see how they like to do this. And we made these and gave them to a family member. And I made another batch, you'll see later on. I made 2 batches of this, and we kept one and we gave the other to a family member. Now, whenever you're baking, I would suggest baking at least 2 batches, probably even more than that, because you can freeze them, and dough freezes very well. Not dough, like once you cook things, they freeze very well. And then you can just pull them out and reheat them up. But why not go ahead and make double or triple the batch, since you already have everything out and it's already making a mess anyways. If you're taking the time to do it once, you can do it 2 or 3 more times as well. So that is one of my suggestions. If you have a large family, you know, and you don't have a lot of time. That is the thing with me. I don't have the time. It's easy for me to do things like this whenever I have the time. So if you have the time, go ahead and get it done. And I know sometimes it's worth just sitting around and resting when you have free time. But other times, you know, it's worth it to teach your children how to make bread and how to make cinnamon rolls, and just spending this time and these memories with them. So I'm glad I get to also share it with you guys, and hopefully encourage you to spend time with your little ones and teach them the joys of baking if you have the time. There's something about kneading dough that I love. You know, it just brings you back to your, I don't know, I feel like this is how it's always been meant to be, like making your own dough by hand. It smells so good. Just the bread, just the dough alone, it smells so good. Okay, so I'm done kneading. I think it's pretty good. It springs back when you touch it. There's not really a lot of elasticity. It kind of breaks, but I'm not worried about that. It'll still taste good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna oil this bowl very well. Just olive oil spray. And then we're going to put the dough in here. And then I'm gonna cover it with a damp towel. And my oven has bread proofing. So I hit the bread proof, and it's gonna be this consistent temperature for me, which I really love, by the way. It's really cool that they have that kind of thing. But if you don't, just put it in a warm spot, maybe in front of a window or on top of your counter if you're running the dishwasher, whatever, on top of your stove. So let me get this in the oven. And you, like what you want it to double in size. So sometimes it'll take an hour, sometimes it could take 2, just depending on the warmth that, you know, where the place where you put it is, if it's warm or not. So I'm gonna put it here and check it in 30-40 minutes and see if it's done. So I always put a timer on because I'm a mom and I get busy and I forget. So I'm gonna put a timer on so I can check it. I put a timer on for 48 minutes, so we'll check it and see if it's doubled in size. Okay, so I did 2/3 a cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon, that's okay, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and a pinch of salt for the filling. And I forgot to video that, but that's all it is for the filling. Open it, there we go. All right, so I'm making 2 batches just because I want one for me. And look, it is rising. Okay, it's doing good. Let's look at this one. That one's doing good too. Okay, so usually, here, let's close it. You ready? That's one thing that I have learned when you cook a lot, especially if you have a big family and you don't have a lot of time. It's perfect timing right now because my babies are sleeping, so I'm getting all this done while they're taking a nap. So say hey. Okay, moving on. This is something that I have always done when I made cinnamon rolls. I like to put a little cutting board out, flour it just a little bit, and then I use that as my template basically to roll my dough. And so also it doesn't cut my countertops are wood. But even when we lived in the military and I didn't have wooden countertops, this is how I did it. So, and you can just cut it right on the cutting mat. It works perfectly every time. And I don't roll mine. You'll see in just a minute how I cut mine. This is how I done it. I used to roll it in like a log shape and then cut it like, if you know what I'm talking about, like the normal way. How people make cinnamon rolls, but I really do prefer making it this way. You'll see it in just a second. I feel like it is a little bit more uniform. I mean, they taste the same either way, right? So, but it does make it look a little prettier. To get it stretched out into a rectangle shape.
Like Play-Doh.
Kind of like Play-Doh, yeah.
And that one I could play with.
And this is one of the best things I have ever bought, the butter holder, because we eat butter with everything. When we make eggs, we use butter. When we make bread, we have butter. It's so nice to have it just on the countertop, already not cooled down, like soft, it's just perfect. And it really doesn't go rancid. I know people have thought about, I used to think I can't leave butter out on the counter, it'll go rancid, it'll go bad. No, I've left butter out for 2 weeks at a time and it still is fine. There's something about it, it's just fine just sitting on the countertop. I love it. If you don't have a butter holder for your countertop, I would highly suggest it. It really does make a big difference in your family's life if you eat a lot of homemade breads and things like that. Also, you can omit the pecans if you want. You can add any kind of nut, any kind of raisin that you want, any kind of fruit. I just had pecans and I wanted to add them to my cinnamon rolls this day. I was making these for a family member and she absolutely loves pecans, so I wanted to add these for her. Although my husband, he really enjoyed these. He's like, you can leave the pecans out next time. They just slowed me down. And this is what I was talking about. It's kind of weird, but it really does make a big difference to me in the way they look at the end. You cut them kind of like you're cutting a pizza dough, and then you roll it instead of rolling the whole thing and cutting the little circular disc. This is how I do it, and they come out beautifully every time. Perfect. So now I'm going to put those back in the oven with a covered towel and let them rise again for about an hour, and then they'll be ready to bake. So while those were rising, I wanted to go and clean up all the bowls that were in my kitchen sink. They were just bombarding my sink. So I wanted to get those cleaned while I was just standing here. And it was so pretty just looking out this window at the green grass. Again, I think I've said it before, if you haven't heard, but we came from Texas from the military. I mean, we're originally from Florida, my husband and I. We were just in the military for 8 years, so we've been in Texas that whole time. And it's very rare to have pretty green, vibrant grass. So it's just such a blessing to be able to look out my window here and see chickens running in the yard and beautiful clovers in the grass and just bright, living grass. So every time I look out my window and I see beautiful grass, I just thank the Lord for the beauty of the things that He created for us. You know, I think sometimes, yes, He made the grass because it's better than walking on, dirt, and He made it for the animals to eat. But I think He also made a lot of the things for us just to look at and remember who made these things. I mean, I was telling my kids the other day in the car, she was saying, why did God make me? And I'm like, you are special. God made you for a purpose. He made you to show others about how wonderful and how glorious He is. And He wants us to love Him and show others that He loves them. And she was just like, how did He make grass? And I'm like, baby, I have no idea. I can't make grass. It's such a miracle. Just grass, everything we step on every day. Like I can't make grass, you can't make grass, and we can't make grass grow if we don't have water. Who made water? It's just such a miracle. It's such a blessing. And every time I look out my window, I'm just so thankful that I get to live in this beautiful place where our family is. And that I know we do live in a place where it's hot, but it is still a blessing to be able to be around family and, just be able to show our children how beautiful God's world is. So I would say they're pretty much done rising. So I am going to take them out, actually turn the oven on and put them back in. And I also wanted to share with you a little craft that we were going to do. My kids were getting baptized this weekend. So I got these little flower bundles. They're dried flowers. And I'm going to make them, I'm putting them on their candle. So their baptismal candle. So I was getting Maylee to pick her flower bouquet that she wanted on here. These turned out really pretty and they were fun to make together. Although I will say, these flowers, I can link them down below. They're just pretty to look at or decorate your house with. They did smell very bad. I don't know why. So just keep that in mind. So here are all the candles. I think they turned out beautifully. These two right here, my husband and my son's, again, they don't have flowers, but I think they turned out really good. And I'm gonna make little wax drippers so they don't drip on their hands and burn them to go on top. So these are definitely ready. The oven has preheated, so I've stuck them in here and we're gonna cook them for 30 minutes. And sometimes you might have to cook them a little bit longer. It just depends on how fat you make them or how little your dish is, but this is how they came out. I think they turned out beautifully. And so now I'm going to be making the icing for them both. And remember, I'm doubling everything. So you can take that recipe or the one I will link down below, but don't watch what I do. Plus I add way more cream cheese just because we love the flavor of it. I also made, you can see right here by my mixer, I made some Outback bread. I really in love, like my kids love this recipe. They don't love it. They like this bread. So I try to make it for them. Not all the time because it's not special, but I do make it quite a bit. And I made 2 loaves. One I stuck in the freezer and the other one we ate that day. There's a little bit left, so I'm sure it'll be gone the next day. But anyways, I'll have my recipe. I have a video where I did a whole video about me making that bread, and I can link that video down in the description, and I'll try to link the recipe. I've been making that for about 5 years, so I don't know if I'll have the same recipe, but I can link the video and you can get my recipe from there. So you're just gonna add your cream cheese, vanilla. This has 6 cups of powdered sugar because I doubled it, and then some. There's a pinch of salt, I think, and then there's some milk that you're gonna add in here. And this was actually very good. If you don't like cream cheese, I mean, you don't have to add cream cheese, but I just prefer the taste of cream cheese on my cinnamon rolls, and so does my family. It's so good. My husband's so adorable. He was like, is this stuff ready? Yeah, I've been smelling it all day. I want to eat some. So he's like, please hurry up and make the frosting. He absolutely loves cinnamon rolls, and that is the way to his heart. I used to let my kids lick the whisk, but there's just so many of them, they just fight over it. So I'm like, no, you can just wait till you eat your cinnamon roll. So these were so big, they only had half of one. And I did not frost all of them right here to show you because they were still pretty hot and I didn't want it all melting and becoming like liquid. So I just frosted the first little bit right here, and because I wanted to show you them. So I'm gonna pull these out and show you, and this was gonna be mine because I don't really care to have a lot of frosting on mine, but they're so good. Just looking back on these, I wish I had some. I wish I had some that I froze, but I didn't make a third batch. But they come apart so easily. They're so moist and tender on the inside. They're just so good, guys. Hopefully you enjoy making them. If you do, leave a comment and let me know how they come out. And I was going to show you here, we got a rooster for our hens. We have 20 Isa Brown hens, and hopefully they'll start laying eggs here soon. But we got this rooster, and he was doing a little dance with his feathers for him, trying to show off to the lady. So he's adorable, and he's going to grow up with them. He's basically the same age as they are. He doesn't even have his spurs yet. So It was so cute to watch him just prance around the girls. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for coming along with us. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm about to insert just a little bit of our kids' baptism, and my husband got baptized as well. So hopefully you enjoy watching that, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.